Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Play It Loud for our second ever playthrough. This is Kirby's Dream Land, made by HAL Laboratory for the Nintendo Game Boy. This is one of my all-time favourite Game Boy games, and I think one of the best examples of what the Game Boy could do in the right hands. I look back at a lot of the Game Boy games from this sort of era, and so many of them are really compromised versions of games made for bigger consoles. You look back at things like Super Mario Land, and which I mean I know was a launch title, but you look back at those early games from the like 89, 90, even into 91, and so many of them are going, we'd really like to be on the NES, and you could do this better on the NES, but instead we're on the Game Boy, so you know we've sacrificed this so we could do it on the Game Boy, and this game was built from the ground up for the Game Boy, and it sacrifices nothing. The graphics are wonderful. I think this game is beautiful to look at. The sound is incredible. It takes such good advantage of the Game Boy's sound chip, and when I was younger, I never played the Game Boy with headphones, because I think part of me, you know, having listened to the bleepy sounds coming out of the mono speaker, I think part of me had kind of gone, oh, you know, it's not worth plugging in the headphones to hear these tunes. But this game has true stereo separation, there's clever use of instruments, and it really opened my eyes to what the Game Boy, even in the sound capability, which I would have previously written off as a weakness, you know, in the right hands, it can do great things can be done. So yeah, I think the Game Boy is so well served by this game, and it's just a real showcase for what a hugely underrated piece of hardware could do. Alright. This is Wispy Woods. He's the first boss in this and many other Kirby games, and you know, he's quite legendarily harmless. Although you can make it a lot easier than I am, because I just shot one of the apples. I've been playing this game for years, and I've never ever shot one of the apples. I love this piece of music. Someday I'm going to make that my ringtone. So now we come to Castle Lololo, and the bosses in this game, in this level, Lololo and La La La, are actually from another HAL game called The Adventures of Lolo. Now this is one of my favourite examples of humour in Kirby, which is what I've just swallowed is a microphone, and when Kirby sings, according to the manual, he is so bad that his enemies will explode in, depending on which version of the manual you're reading, either horror or laughter. So, observe. Yes, he's that bad. I'm not going to go... Oh, I will, because it's a Let's Play and I'm showing the game off. I usually get myself hurt in this little room, but not today. So the plot of Kirby's Dream Land is that King Dedede has invaded Dreamland, and he has stolen the good people of Dreamland's food. And that not being enough for King Dedede, who is just that evil, he has also stolen their dreams. So Kirby, the hero that Dreamland needs right now, has gone to rescue both the food and the dreams. It's never really, like, it's sort of implied that Dedede stole the food because he's a glutton, but the dreams because he's just a dick. And it's the lollipop, or the candy as the manual insists on referring to it, which is a invincibility power-up. It's the star from, the superstar from Mario, basically, and Kirby can breeze through enemies. I have once fallen down that pit. I accidentally hugged the left wall, and to my horror, you can miss the warp star. I just assumed that you couldn't not pick that warp star up. So this is Lolo. The Lolo games, there's three of them, the Adventures of Lolo 1, 2, and 3 on the NES, and they are nothing like this game. They're actually action puzzle games. Go up here, and in this next room we get one of my favorite power-ups, as well as this pep brew, which is what the game refers to it as. You get the curry, which lets you shoot projectiles. And if you're any good, you would usually hit with them, but, you know, I like to be different. My first experience with this game came in, I want to say 1995. I played it on a bus ride back from Canberra. A friend of mine in my class had a Game Boy. He played Mario Land on it and then offered me a go, and I asked if he had any other games because, you know, he just played Mario Land, and he said, I've got Kirby's Dream Land if you want to have a go at that. And so this was my first, one of my first experiences on the Game Boy was this game. And up till then, you know, I'd played consoles around at people's houses. I knew what Nintendo was about. I knew what Sega was about. Mostly Master System games I'd been exposed to at that point. And I'd kind of thought, like, you know, because not having a Game Boy, the games I'd seen on handhelds were like Game & Watches or rip-off Game & Watches that were trying to look like the Game Boy. So LCD, single moving sprite kind of, you know, bad pictures. So to be exposed to this on the Game Boy, and like, yeah, even then the Game Boy games I'd played up to then were things like Mario Land, and they were really simple. They looked really simple. And so to be exposed to a game like this and to suddenly say, wow, look at what this system can do, it was a real revelation, and I wanted a Game Boy forever after that. I finally got one for Christmas in '98, just in time to experience games like Pokemon was a big thing for me in about year 7. Oh, I don't usually do that. So yeah, this was one of the first games I got for the Game Boy. It remains one of my favorites to this day, and I think it's a game that, like, a lot of people should give a go to. It's on the Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console, one of the Game Boy games on there, and I think it's perfect. It's so perfectly suited to handheld gaming. I mean, you could play it on the 20th Anniversary Collection, although that's getting kind of rare. It's a Wii game, and it was only an American Wii game, so you've either got to be in America or have hacked your Wii. But it's just so perfect for handhelds because it is that, what I was talking about before, that sort of pick up and put down. It's short and easy and quick and fun. It's perfect for that kind of situation where, you know, I've got 10 minutes on the bus. Let's kill that time with a bit of Kirby. I mean, I've been playing this for about 9 minutes now, and I'm already deep into the 3rd out of 5 levels. This level is one of my favorites because of the soundtrack to it. I absolutely love this song. The level itself also introduces some nice gimmicks. We get these kind of maze things for the first time, which will come back in the next level. But mostly, yeah, I think what has always stuck with me about this level is the music. Oh, cannons. Hate cannons. Thought I'd talk a little about the Game Boy as long as I was playing a Game Boy game. So my Game Boy experience was, as I said, you know, I'd played some friends. When I got my own, it came out in '98. This pack that the Game Boy came in, where you got the Game Boy, a carrying case, and Mario Land. And so the first games I got were Mario Land, Star Wars, and Pocket Bomberman, which is a game I want to do for this channel because it was my first Bomberman game, and it can. Anyone who's ever played Pocket Bomberman will know that it is the worst introduction to Bomberman you could possibly be given. Which is one of the reasons I want to show it off, because I have a lingering soft spot for it, but it is not a Bomberman game in any sense other than you are Bomberman and you lay bombs. Other than that, it's a platformer with single player only. It is completely not Bomberman in any way, shape, or form. By the way, I love this power-up, but I can only think of one other time that it appears in the game, and it's not nearly as useful. Victory music. Alright, we're going to leave it there for this part, and when we come back, we'll be in Stage 4, Bubbly Clouds.